Ladies and gentlemen, now with the release of tomorrow's update, we are finally getting Final Boss Escanor on Global, and to set a very clear expectation, he is by far the hardest of all 7 final bosses, and in comparison, all of them seem like a little bit of a joke. There's so much to his fight, and so much that you need to be aware of, and that you'll learn while you're advancing through it, so keep in mind, if you go in like, 4 or 5 times, you get absolutely wrecked. You're certainly not going to be alone. Like, the first time this guy dropped on the Japanese version, there's literally like almost a 2-hour live stream of me just dying and learning this fight, man. It was really rough. However, the very good news for Global is that since then the Archangels have been released, because at the point where he dropped on the Japanese version, there was no Tarmiel, there was no Sariel, and those 2 characters, for the average player that summoned on the Archangels banner or get lucky on the Assault Mode Meliodas banner, they're going to make the fight so much easier in comparison. So to help get you prepared for tomorrow, I've put together a list of 13 teams that can work for Final Boss Escanor. Keep in mind there's a lot of variance and RNG in this fight in terms of the cards you draw, in terms of the cards that Escanor has, because there's a big difference between a turn where he has like 2 bronze cards and 2 gold cards, man. The gold card damage and RNG sometimes can be so ridiculous that he's just going to wipe you. So yeah, do keep that in mind, man. It's a very troublesome boss. But the sweaty #1 team and tactic, I think it's going to be moderately inaccessible unless you're a bit of a spender, a bit of a whale, is to reflect on the green New Year's Meliodas with Jude in the back. So the plan is you have Melascula to keep this Meliodas alive, Liz for her ultimate and reflect, and also Jude on the back line to have 10% more reflect as well. So yeah, this reflects his ultimate in the final phase, and you need to get lucky and Escanor to have that ultimate really quickly, and also crit the Meliodas as well, and then you can reflect for like up to 10 million damage on Escanor. So that's like the sweaty tryhard tactic. However, for the average player, if you've been smart with your gems, you summon on the Archangels banner, a team that I highly recommend for a consistent run is using the Red Freeze Merlin, Tarmiel, Sariel, and also Red Healing Liz on the sub. Now for this fight, Liz on the sub is just really good just because she's a constant passive healer. So yeah, she's very nice for like any team if you just need to be topped up. And yeah, works in the majority of setups. So she'd be my recommended sub for the majority of players. But again, if you find you need more damage, you can go for like Red Jericho. Some people, if they go for an all-red team, prefer like Twiggo on the sub for additional hit points and running stuff like lifesteal food. But it's kind of up to you. You got to play around with your roster, your setup, see what works out for you. But yeah, this is a really good team. Probably my favorite one for consistently clearing the fight on hell difficulty, and the goal is just control Escanor in that final phase until you can get a golden freeze, and then either Sariel gold card or ultimate and finish off the fight there. But also there's a lot of RNG in the final phase, and we'll talk about this in the fight breakdown video tomorrow with the drains, because sometimes in the final phase he's going to have turns where he has like a silver and gold card and he's going to drain all of your ult gauge, and sometimes you'll have like 3-4 turns where he's just got like single target cards or like his AoE smash card that he uses. So yeah, there's so much RNG in this fight, so do keep that in mind as well. But yeah, Freeze Archangels team I found is like the best and most consistent, and we'll show a takedown of that at the end of this video. You can also go for a setup not using Tarmiel and having Red go through instead. Bear in mind with this, you don't have ult control outside of, Tarmiel's ult? So this is more building up to a gold card on Sariel, and also having a fair bit of additional damage there. So again, this one can work, and I've seen it work really well for some players, but you do need a little bit of RNG for this one as well, and hope that Escanor doesn't get his ult too fast. Also, one thing that you can use, a little bit of a slower burn in comparison, because it kind of removes your big damage unit, but this one has a lot of control. If you have Merlin, Tarmiel, Red go through and Liz in the back, again you've got Some solid damage mitigation, upgrades, healing in the back, the freeze to remove the buffs in the final turn as well, and also amplify the damage. And with this one, you can potentially use Red Merlin's Ultima if you do have her 6/6 or 5/6 as kind of your game-winning play if you whittle him down a little bit. So yeah, that can potentially work there. Also, this one's a bit more of a slow burner in comparison, just because Red Merlin's freeze card, gold, and having like that 200% damage multiplier on it is absolutely insane for that final phase. But if you go for a more control focused option and go for Lilia, Sariel, Tarmiel, it's going to take a bit longer. You're not going to get as many points overall, but again, it still can work out very, very nice. For people that summoned on the Mono banner, there's a few different strategies you can go for. Lilia, Red Gotha, Mono works out quite nicely. There's also Mono Goddess Liz, Lilia, running Marmus on the back. A couple of teams that I saw in the Japanese version, actually, this one was really high scoring until people started using the Reflect team. It was the Green Elizabeth, Blue Mono, Green Gotha, and also Jillian on the sub. And with this, you've got a lot of control over stripping buffs, got some nice healing as well. I think the Pumpkin Bombs is used in the strategy to control ult gauge. So yeah, I didn't really test Green Gotha personally, but I have seen some videos on YouTube of him working out. So yeah, seems to be a bit of an interesting option there. And then kind of moving down, we also have Deri strats. Deri strats are very RNG focused for the most part. Because yeah, Deri being a demon, she takes like crazy damage from Escanor, but if you can get lucky with evasions in the first phase and kind of move into the second phase, especially with like a golden freeze and then like a golden swipe as well. I've seen people even do it with Gustav there. So yeah, some really tight runs on YouTube of that. And then moving down as well, you got the option of running like Mono, Halloween Gotha, Tarmiel as well. Really nice control on this team. You got ult gauge rollback, buff removal, and also Gotha's passive coming into play. And then go down, one team I managed to use when the fight first came out, and I didn't have Mono or Archangels, is actually Mikasa, and killing with like Golden Freeze and Mikasa's ult worked out quite nicely. It's like difficult to pull off consistently because the only drain you've got is Lilia's drain, and that's why like Tarmiel for the most part is really nice for this fight, just because he has that single target drain that you don't need merged. So yeah, Tarmiel like absolute MVP for control on this fight. Also, one team I did see on YouTube used was a Giants team with Lilia, Blue Droll, Blue Diane, and also Matrona in the back. So Matrona buffs up the stats of Droll and also Diane. Diane deals more damage to buffed up opponents, so can deal some really nice damage to Escanor, and also Droll can petrify to remove the buffs on Escanor if you want a Diane ult as well. However, with this strategy, the only ult control you have is off Lilia. So yeah, you rely on her for healing and ult control, and you know, she does have her drain. She also does have her ultimate, the ranks down cards, but you can get that taken away from you depending on the RNG. So yeah, this one can be a little bit inconsistent, but also Droll's Taunt is very nice for protecting the other two if like he's single targeting like Lilia, for example. So yeah, can be quite useful there. So yeah, there's a lot of different strategies within some of the characters that work for this fight that can work out really well. It's about kind of like getting used to the fight, playing around with your roster, testing out the damage as well, and understanding the immunity thresholds on Escanor. So yeah, at some point tomorrow we are going to do a full fight guide and breakdown, because there's a lot to talk about and a lot to be aware of when it does come to Final Boss Escanor, so do keep that in mind. But today I wanted to focus on some of the teams and setups that you can potentially use, just so you know, as soon as the boss releases, you've got options that you can try out. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts, and we're going to end today's video by showing you a run a few weeks ago on the Japanese version with the Archangels and Merlin Freeze team, just to give you a bit of a first feel for how the fight's going to work on Global. But if you did enjoy today's video, please do smash that like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. Aside from that, let's move on to the takedown. For a level of consistency, make sure you enter the second phase after Tarmiel's ult, because then Merlin's fully topped up, and the problem is she went into, I think, second phase about 60%. So yeah, then she's like just waiting to be sniped really. Unfortunate, man, unfortunate. But yeah. Oh, it is what it is. Let's move on. think let's go Merlin, Sariel. Ugh, so annoying that we literally had everything to win there, man. Should you buy green Esterosa from shop? 100,000,000% yes, dude. Is my answer to that one. Right, I think we just merge Tarmiel, merge again. Go for the Sariel card here. I think that's the best play. Do we get ranked down here or is it next turn? We might get ranked down here, but it's fine. He's a bit indecisive on who he wants to nuke, man. Sometimes he's like full game for what is it, Merlin. Sometimes he's like, no, I'm gonna go be on Sariel for a little bit. Don't mind me, boys. The good news is the Merlin Freeze draw has been fantastic this fight. So yeah, we're in a really good spot. So then we just need to not get clapped this turn. Put the damage reduction. I think I'm going to merge this. I forgot, because we did lose one freeze card there. I forgot you don't want to draw like too many freeze cards too soon. But here, I think let's go for Sariel's ult, Merlin's card, and this should push phase, I think. And then we got a pretty good lineup moving into final phase. We're at Sariel's ult, probably going to get drained. So we've got level 2 damage reduction stance. So that should keep Merlin alive this time. Plus she's fully topped up. So now we just need to draw 2 more freeze cards in 3 full turns. Right, so let's get the stance up. There's not really much need to put the stance up right now, in all fairness. I might as well, though, because it also covers next turn. So, yeah. But then I think I'm actually going to move this over here. Just so then we have the chance to, yeah, just easy merge that golden freeze. That's not what we wanted to see. Yeah, I don't really want to dump any little drain here on Sariel. That should be 1-0 gauge. Perfect. Yeah, I think we just dump these 3 cards. So another damage reduction stance. So yeah, we chill on here. And this brings Sariel back to... Oh, we need 1 more freeze card, man. 1 more freeze card. Now we need 1 more freeze card, 1 more Sariel card, and Merlin not to get clapped. Merge should be fine, man. We got stance up here. Okay, perfect. Sariel card, Sariel merger, yes. Let's go. That's really, okay, that's really, really good. The only thing I'm missing here, and this is maybe of importance if I don't get super... If he goes for a drain here... Oh, no, he doesn't go for drain here. Okay, so we go for stance. We need to drain as well, and then we freeze. Oh, no. We stance, we freeze, because he doesn't stay frozen, so let's just remove the buffs for max damage here. And then, yeah, drain. Again, he doesn't stay frozen, so there's no point using the freeze last. I wanted to remove the buffs so I could deal a bit more damage. And then, yeah, next turn, man, we got the play of plays there. Merlin ult, freeze, Sariel ult. Should be done. Let's see how much that Sariel dealing 5-6. Oh, 500,000. Let's go, boys. Well. Oh, we got 4-5, man. That ain't too bad with the Archangels team, bro. I'll tell you that much, man.
You are not subscribed to the whale sin of spending? Who decided that? Subscribe now, or enjoy the bitter taste of regret.